So we're kicking off this brand new series called Measure Differently. And I love what was written up on the series. I just want to read it to you because I think it just encapsulates for the next 5 weeks what we're going to try to do as we look at this series, as we head towards the end of summer. Here's what we wrote. We often grow up believing that happiness follows success. Anybody ever thought that before? That happiness, I will be happy once I am successful. Achieving more, climbing higher, stay busy, then you will be fulfilled. But what if there is a different way to measure our lives? What if success looks less like constantly striving and more like quiet resilience and a grounded faith, sacred moments woven in ordinary relationships? Maybe it's the meaningful work that nobody else sees, but you know is good. Maybe it's not about the loudest or most visible moments, but a life that is deeply rooted, faithful in the small things, and open to wonder. Whether you're chasing dreams, holding it all together, or reimagining what comes next, this journey is for you. I love that last line. Whether you're chasing dreams. This morning when I woke up, I had a text message from a young pastor, and he said to me, hey, I've been approached to plant a church. And I think it's in my heart to want to do that. Would you help me on this journey? And the first thing I said to him as he's chasing this dream, don't plant a church because it's somebody's good idea. Only plant a church if it's a God idea for you to shepherd a group of people. I understand the desire to chase dreams, but maybe we need to reimagine or remeasure differently why we have that dream. Maybe it's you're holding it all together. Do I have any mamas in the house who are just holding it all together? And you're like, listen, I'm here to tell you maybe you need to measure differently. And instead of thinking busy is better, maybe it's being present with your children that matters most. Maybe we start measuring differently. And maybe some of us are in a season right now where we're reimagining what could be next. You're like, my whole life I've worked this way and now I'm retiring and now I'm looking at it and maybe that's intimidating and maybe we clothed ourselves with the purpose of our job. And God is here to tell you, your purpose was always so much bigger than whatever job description you carried over your life. Reimagine a new future. And what if we began to measure differently? Say measure differently. I'm going to look at this scripture in Exodus chapter 2, and as I was looking at this, I just saw a commentary that was so good that I wanted to just simply camp in on this commentary, and then I want to get into Exodus 2 and this story of a woman that you might often not think of. Here's what it says. There's a woman in the Bible whose name we are never told. She doesn't shout, she doesn't preach, she doesn't storm the gates. But what she does do, she does it in quietly waiting, trusting, and act with strength when the moment comes. We meet her in Exodus chapter 2. Pharaoh has issued a genocidal decree where every Hebrew baby boy must be thrown into the Nile River. It's a violent time. It's a loud time. It's an oppressive time. And in the middle of it, we find this Hebrew mother who later to be revealed as Jochebed, the mother of Moses. Now let's read Exodus chapter 2. There's a man from the tribe of Levi who married a woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. And when she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could not hide him any longer, she got a basket for him, coated it with tar and pitch, and then she placed the child in the basket, putting along the reeds among the river bank of Nile. His sister stood there at a distance to see what had happened to him. Verse number 5, then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendant was walking on the riverbank. She saw the basket along the reeds and sent a female slave to get it. She opened it and saw a baby who was crying. So let's stop right here. Today we're going to talk about the power of quiet resilience. When you can't control the outcomes, how do you respond to the situations? You have this woman who decided that she loved her child, she raised her child, it was a fine child, but there was a time in this moment where she could not control what would happen to her kid. Babies were being thrown into the river to be killed, and she realized at a certain point, 3 months in, I can no longer keep this child under control, and now I have to let go of the thing that I love the most. Have Have you ever had to let go of something you love so much and you don't know how it's going to work out? I have to let go of the thing I love the most, and I have to trust it to the hands of God as I place it in this river. She prepared this basket. She did everything she could to set up this child for success. And yet she had to let him go and trust that God had a plan for this child, even when she could not see the plan unfolding. And she lets go, and as she lets go, this child floats in the river. And God saw this child floating in the river. This attendant of Pharaoh's daughter sees it, and as he is crying, could you imagine the pain of a mother putting their 3-month-old beautiful baby boy in this basket as he's crying, letting him go, and trusting a God who is bigger than the circumstances that are in front of her in that moment? She lets go and she says, oh God, please take care of my baby boy. Please take care of my baby boy. See, the thing about quiet resilience is this. You choose to do something when you don't even know the outcomes of the thing you choose to do. Can I say it like this? It's very easy to start something, and it's very easy to quit something. It is very hard to continue something. Come on. Let me stay with me on this. It's very easy to start working out. You're like, you know what, today's the day. I bought some fresh clothes. I got my Lululemon on. I'm doing my thing. And you get all jazzed up to work out, and you work out one time, and then your body feels a certain way after that first time, and you say, this is the devil. This is not of God. Stay with me. It's easy to start something, and it's easy to quit something. You just like, I'm done, I don't want to do this more, and you feel relieved after you did it. But it's really hard to continue something. It's really hard to have the perseverance and the resilience and when you don't know how the outcomes are going to go, you still show up anyways and do it. This woman did not know the outcome, yet she still trusted God in that moment. And the question I have for you is, will you trust God when you cannot control the outcomes? Will I trust God when I cannot control the outcomes? If I could control the outcomes, I could trust God easier. If I knew how it was all going to work out, if I knew that I really tithe, like the story that Carl told, if I really did that, I could pay off my mortgage early. I could get blessed. God could. If you knew that for your personal life, you would easily do it. The problem is we have to trust in faith, knowing I don't know how it's going to work for me, but I can lean on the word, and I can lean on the testimony of others who have followed the word, and I can step into something that's not easy to step into because faith gives me strength where fear does not. It's easy to start something. It's easy to quit something. It's hard to continue something. It's easy to start tithing. Okay, God, I want you to turn everything around. And you gave, and you said, now, when I get home, there better be a sack of money on my doorstep. Come on, don't act like you haven't been there. I will, God, but you better what? Wink, wink, wink. Do it for me. What if God's blessing isn't more money back in your pocket? What if God's favor isn't you getting that promotion? What if God's favor is training you on the inside to be something so strong and so able to do exceedingly abundantly what you could ever hope or imagine, that you stand up in storms and you're like, God doesn't always bail me out, but he gives me strength in the storm to persevere the storm, to be someone who's tried by fire, which is purifying gold on the inside of me. Who taught you that Christianity was supposed to be easy or convenient? What lie did you buy saying this thing should be easy for me and convenient for me? Last time I read my Bible, you should crucify your flesh with Christ. You should pick up your cross and you should follow him. There are so many times where it would be so much easier to quit on my faith journey because in the moment it does not feel good. See, I wish I could have a little miniature Pastor Pierre on my shoulder all the time saying, Douglas, remember the Lord. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I would love that. But the reality is there's moments where you're all alone, just you, yourself, and your thoughts, and the devil is whispering in your ear, and you have to remind yourself whose you are, at what price you were bought, that God is doing a work in you, and it might not feel good, but I trust it is good. Because it is perfecting my faith in a way that I can stand against the fiery darts of the enemy, and he will not prevail over me in my house, but I will stand and trust in the Lord. But will I really trust, or am I really trusting when I can't control the outcomes? When I don't know how God is going to work it all out for my favor? I thought about a personal story that I want to share with you, and I had about 15 that came to mind. I'll give you one, just one. That I wrestle so hard with trust, because, it's so much easier to control circumstances than trust God in the circumstances. Do I have a witness in the house of God today? It's so much easier to control than trust. And my wife and I, we're church planters from Ohio. We planted a church 14 years ago, and that church eventually ballooned to 4 locations. And during COVID, we closed all of our locations but one, and we still own one of the buildings. It was a downtown property. It was so cool. It was so amazing. It was our second campus, so we put all this love into the second location, and it was a downtown. It was a dream center, which is all about outreach in the community and service, and we loved it. We loved it. It was a bar. True story. Somebody got murdered in the bar on New Year's Eve. They closed the bar, and a church came and bought the bar. And the headlines of the paper was, "A place known for death is now known for life." Come on, somebody, right? That's pretty cool. We love this building. We worked on it. When you put blood, sweat, and tears into something, you work so hard. It is your baby, and if you're not careful, it becomes your idol. Can I talk to somebody today? And we love this, but now COVID happens and it closes and we're down to one location, and then that location just became a storage for us, and we were just kind of like, we didn't know what to do with it. And a local pastor, this guy who did outreach in the downtown, loved all the hurting and broken people down there, he asked for a meeting with me. And the best I can describe him is, the Christians who say brother every other word, and they're like, "Brother Doug, brother, I got to tell you, brother." It's like Hulk Hogan, R.I.P. Hulk, but it's like brother. He's like, "Hey, Brother Doug, good to see you, brother. How you doing, brother? I'm like, "Hey, yeah, it's good to see you." And he's like, "I got a question for you, Brother Doug. What are you doing with that downtown location?" Now, this is a primo downtown location. And I go, "Oh, we're still trying to figure it out." He goes, "Man, I'd love if the Lord would let us use that, Brother Doug." Translation, will we give him this building? And I'll translate that Christianese for you. I would love for the Lord to do this. Doug, give us a building. That's what that means. And I said, "Oh, hey, could you maybe buy it off of us?" They were the type of ministry that just barely was able to keep above float. They didn't have this kind of revenue. And then he goes on, and we're talking through it. "Could you rent it?" "No, we couldn't rent it." And then he says, "Well, you just think maybe God would put on you guys to give it to us." And I said, "Well, listen, that sounds awesome. Let me talk to my board." Translation, I'm going to get a no from these business people, but I'm going to be nice to you right now in this moment. Let me ask my board how they feel about that. So we had a board meeting coming up, and I sat with our board, and I told them the story, and we all knew this guy. He's a wonderful man. He does great outreach downtown. And I'm looking at these businessmen and women who are savvy and smart, and I'm expecting them to follow suit. And one of them says, "I don't know, should we just give it to them?" And I replied back, "That's not of God." I'm going to be crystal clear, that's not of God. And then they're like, "Are you sure?" And then another one, I'm like, now I'm getting mobbed up on. And they're like, "You know what? We should just trust God. God gave us that building, even though we spent a bunch of money on it, even though it cost us a bunch, the Lord still provided, and we should continue." And you know what? As they talked, I felt that conviction. Am I really trusting God, or am I trying to control the situation right now? And so we agreed that we were going to give this guy this beautiful primo property in downtown and just hand it to him with the parking lot across the street. And I'll never forget, I announced it to my church family, and everybody cheers because we love it when someone else is generous around us. They're like, "Yay!" And I'm like crying. And then I go to give him the key, and I'll never forget, he's like, "Oh, Brother Doug, this is the best day of our lives. God is good, Brother Doug." And he goes, "Brother Doug, can you let go?" I thought I handed him the key. I never let go of the key. I was holding it. And we're like doing this. I'm smiling. And at one moment, I had to just let go of the key. Can I tell you, somebody in here has got to let go of the key right now. Somebody's holding on so tightly to something that you're trying to control. I don't know what it is for you, but it's something that you just think, if I can just squeeze a little bit tighter, if I can hold a little bit more, it's going to work in my favor. And I'm here to tell you, it doesn't work that way. Hold on loosely, but don't let go. Because if you squeeze too tightly, you're going to lose control. I got 80 babies in here. Come on. Some of y'all do not get that reference. It's okay. But if you do hold on too tightly, you will not get what you think God is trying to do in your life. And I'll never forget, we make the announcement, everyone cheers, and we decide, well, we got to email blast everybody and let everybody know that we did this in our database. So we sent out the email, we told the story, we did this. I get an email back. Come on, baby. I actually read my emails I get. See, I looped that back from the beginning. And somebody said, hey, I'm so moved by your story. Can we get on the phone? I'd love to hear the details. So I get on the phone with this person, we're chit-chatting, and he goes, by the way, what did it cost you financially? Like, could you tell me the number? What did it actually cost for you guys in your all-in investment? So I told him, and it was a lot of money, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that we invested into this property. He said, cool, when I read your email, God told me whatever you did, I should give back to you, so I'm gonna cut a check to you for that amount. And then the next thing, I'm going to be totally real with you. The next thing out of my mouth was, oh, I'm sorry, that was just phase one. I have to double that number for you. I can't lie to you. I'm just saved. Help me, Jesus. Because I saw an opportunity that I wanted to jump into, but that was it. I said, no, I'm kidding. That's the number. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, folks, all right? Don't hate the player. I will always hustle for church. Come on, somebody. I will always hustle for the kingdom. My point is this. You think that control you're holding on to, God can't outgive you in that moment? You cannot outgive God. And there's got to be a quiet resilience about you to say, I don't know how God will do it, but I let go and trust that my God is able to do it. So I'm going to watch and walk in the favor of God in this situation. Hebrews chapter 12 says it like this. Verse number 1, therefore, since we have been surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, there's such a great cloud of witness of what God is doing. Let us throw off everything. Somebody say everything. Throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us. Somebody over here has got to realize that there are some things that are hindering you from seeing the fulfillment of God, and you've got to have this quiet resilience that it might not happen in a day, it might not happen in 10 days, it might not happen in 100 days, it might not happen in 1,000 days, but I am not measuring my life on days any longer. I will measure my life on decades of what God is doing, and I will throw off every hindrance that stops me from getting to Him in my life. And so I will throw off everything, and I will run with perseverance. Somebody say perseverance. That is doing something despite how difficult or delayed it might be in that situation. I will run the race marked out for us. And check this out. Fixing your eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and the perfecter of your faith. For the joy that was set before him, he endured the cross. That was pain and sorrow, but he had a perspective and a silent resilience to say, no, I am going to quietly take on the cross. I will endure this, the scorning, the shame, because of a joy of those that are not yet here. I will reach for them. And he sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Verse number 3, consider him, Jesus, who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. Remember what Christ did for you so that you will not grow weary. You will not get tired of doing the right thing. You will not give up and lose heart. I get it. It's easy to start and it's easy to quit, but it's hard to continue. And today I'm here for somebody in the house of God who's ready to give up on their faith. And God is here to say, it's time for you to take a new stand with your tired legs and grab firm with your shaky hands again and stand up on the faith that he has endured for you. He will give you the strength. Don't lose heart. Don't grow weary. God is not done with your story just yet. I'm going to be done with this if you want to play for it. And so I have a challenge for you, church. I've actually prayed about this challenge. I've sought after God for this challenge for you today because I believe that somebody needs to hear this. For some of you, you're in a season where shouting won't change anything. You're up against a system, opposition, or grief that will not be budged by force. And what you have is a quiet endurance, a quiet resilience. To keep going, to keep trusting, to keep praying, and to keep showing up. Quiet resilience doesn't look impressive. It looks like a widow who's still tithing. Hey, it looks like a mother who's still praying. It looks like a man who's still serving even when no one else notices. And you know what else it looks like? It looks like Jesus, silent before Pilate, yet still undefeated to the cause that God has called him to. And it looks like obedience to God when the world is screaming, do what you want. You stand in the truth of him and you stand on his word. It might not look good, but you know deep down inside, it is good. So here's where I'm at. If you're here today and you want to stand with me to say, I choose quiet resilience. I choose today not to give up. I choose today to remind my soul to put my hope in God. Not in my circumstances, not in my control, not in what I hold on to, but actually what I let go of. That God is able. If that's you today, I'm going to count to 3. And I want you to stand to your feet with me right now as a symbol of I am not giving up on this thing. 1, 2, 3. Stand to your feet. Is that middle camera on me right now? I want you to look. I want you guys to get, I won't move around, I promise. I won't zigzag. Put me as close as you can to my eyes so they can see my eyes. I want to speak a blessing over you. And the band's going to sing. And we're going to be able to get out of here and we're going to have fun and we're going to do all those things. But I believe in the power of declaration. I believe in the power of impartation. And some of us, we don't have great relationships with maybe our dads, father figures, somebody of authority that we look at. And I don't care to be any of those things. I care to be what God needs me to be for you right now in this moment. And I want to speak life over you. So I want you just to look into my eyeballs as I speak to you now. I declare that your best days are not behind you, but before you. I speak life over you now, that there's a God who's able to do more than you could ever hope or imagine. I believe and I stand with you now that he is in control and you let go of the things that are holding you back from him. The sin and the entrapments you cast aside for Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of your faith. Stand strong with legs that are tired. Take a new grip with hands that are weak. And remember that God is with you every step of the way. Don't grow weary of doing good, for right in the right moment, he will give you a harvest as you don't give up. So I speak over you now, strength that you never knew, a trust in God, and a belief that he is with you. He loves you. He's not abandoned you. Everything that you have gone through to this moment, God is weaving your story. Now stand as an embodiment of someone who is courageous and strong, knowing that your God is with you, and if he's with you, who could be against you? In Jesus' name I bless you. Amen.